Hey, if you could hit the like and subscribe, that really helps. And also hit the notification bell so you can see future videos from the channel. Why are the numbers of sales of this car down so dramatically since it came out? So you might not know, the Mazda 3, the one you're looking at here, came out last year. And year over year sales in the Canadian market anyway, this car is off by 27% year to date. But some months it's down around 20%. Now, of course, some of the reason could be that people are moving towards utilities. We know that is happening, and they do have a utility based on this car now called the CX-30, and I encourage you to click on the card to watch the review of that particular vehicle. But why is this not selling as well as it should, in my opinion? It's a good-looking car. It's dynamic to drive. It's got a beautiful interior. It's nicely designed. What gives? So with this latest model, maybe one of the reasons might be that it's very sharply designed now. It's got very small headlamps or small eyes, but I think I want to show you the one area where I think there might be an issue, and that's the okay, this is a little education for you. When you watch or read reviews, they talk about A, B, and C pillars. A pillar, B pillar, C pillar. This is the C pillar, and it's big. It looks like a big C, actually. They made this much bigger on this latest model, and that affects the inside of the car as well in terms of headroom and visibility, and the window out the back is now a little bit smaller. So is this part of the car getting people to think twice about purchasing it? I think overall the design is really quite sharp. I think it looks great in this white and black contrasting trim. So I think overall the design is good. These are probably more questions than answers. I'd love to get your feedback on it, but that's the outside. So the one you're looking at here is the top trim, the GT Sport, with front-wheel drive and the premium package. Gets the nice looking contrasting black and white. On the inside, beautiful interior, making it look more like a premium car. So let's go for a drive, and at the end I'll talk about the price. This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below. Well, it certainly is nice to get back in this car again, and the last time I drove this was at the launch event that they had in California, Lake Tahoe, and I had a chance to drive the all-wheel drive model. So I encourage you to click on that and watch it and have a look to see what you think. This is not the all-wheel drive car. I'm driving a manual transmission, which is fantastic. Save the manuals. I'm all down for that. But this is a front-wheel drive. And the one I have here is the GT model with the 2.5 liter and 186 horsepower. You can also get the 2 liter, and that is 155 horsepower. It's a great little engine, by the way. So if you don't have the budget for the 2.5, don't feel disappointed, because that's a really good tractable engine, has good power delivery, but this one certainly has more power. And one of the biggest changes, other than the exterior design, is they got rid of independent rear suspension. And I'm kind of wondering if a lot of people are steering away from this car without trying it. Well, they really should try it, because it does an amazing job. I'm in the corners now, and the back is very flat. You can almost feel like the back suspension is keeping you very level in the corners, but it isn't hoppy. One of the problems with torsion beam rear suspensions over bumps is sometimes you get what's called axle hop, and you don't get that with this. They've done a very good job of tuning this. But there are going to be people, and I would probably be one, if I just never drove this car on paper, would not even consider it, because it doesn't have independent rear suspension, but they've done a really good job with it. And I think where this car really, really shines is if you're somebody that does a lot of driving on the highway and you're spending a lot of time at higher speeds cruising along, this car in that situation is fantastic. It has a very upscale, almost premium feel. The way it rolls down the highway, the sound insulation is good. The insulation from road and tire noise is very good. It has a really steady, solid feel on the road. So if that is your world and you're doing a lot of commuting on the highway, give this car a try, because it feels much more upmarket than you would particularly guess in a mainline car. And if you're one of the very few people that wants to have a manual transmission, the throws of the transmission are like velvet. They're so smooth. They've done a fantastic job with this. This transmission was developed with the engine and the platform. We all know that Mazda calls it Skyactiv technology, but it's a cohesive design formula that they put together. Now, of course, they'll sell you a 6-speed automatic, but for those that like manual, it certainly is nice. But this opens up the door for Mazda to maybe come out with a higher performance Mazda Speed version of this car one day, maybe with independent rear suspension. But as of right now, it's very good. Give it a try. Another brand that's using a torsion beam rear suspension or has gone back to it is Volkswagen with the latest Jetta, and they've also done it with very good results. So I'm starting to come around to this philosophy. Some people are not takers. I'm not sure if I would be if it was my money, but give it a try. Okay, next up I want to talk about the inside of this car. And this is really where this vehicle and actually the brand overall really shines. And you can see that Mazda is trying to bring their vehicles up market. And the interior of this car, I've said it many times, if you covered their logo on the steering wheel and you asked somebody, what are you driving in? I would almost guarantee you most people would say, I'm in a BMW or an Audi, something like that, a German brand. It's that good. Now, of course, this is the top trim, and when you get the top trim, you also get the sort of red leather, or looks like leather anyway, dash insert. These beautiful ready brick sort of seats, a very high-end finish, but lots of sort of satin brushed aluminum in here, high gloss piano finish on the inside. It really does look first rate. Now, the communication system is quite good. There were some issues with it when they went to this latest one. Year or so ago, I tried it and it was really quite slow, but they seem to have upgraded that. It now comes with Android and Apple. So I asked the question at the beginning, why are sales of this car down so dramatically in some months? Now, I talked about the outside design with that C-pillar and that sort of wedge shape. When you get in the back seat, once you're in, the headroom is really quite remarkable. They've hollowed out the roof of this headliner. Now, I'm 6 feet tall, I have a long torso, and I can sit in there no problem. There's plenty of leg room as well. It looks a little claustrophobic because of the small side windows. And I took a shot from the back through the hatch of the headrests, and you can see the headrests are almost touching the headliner. It doesn't affect you when you're sitting there, but outward visibility out the back window is a little bit compromised. The window at the back is a little bit smaller, and those headrests are there, so that's something to consider. Is that stopping people from buying this car? I hope not, because once you're inside the back seat, it's really quite comfortable. Cargo area is good as well. It's got a deep well there to put all your stuff in there, and of course you can fold the seats down if you please. So overall, this is a compact car. They sell it in the sedan and this hatch, the sport model. It's very upmarket on the inside. It has a nice sunroof as well, if you want that, and a manual transmission, which is good because a lot of brands are getting away from that. So this car has some nice features as well, all the latest safety equipment. It even has something that reads the street signs for the speed, even stop signs, and gives you warnings for that. It's got a head-up display on the windscreen and a premium feel to it that I actually like. And here's the takeaway. So I've been driving this car for a week. Have I enjoyed it? Yes, I have enjoyed it. Have I felt satisfied driving it? Yes, satisfied driving it. Is it a performance car? No. I would say it's a really competent, everyday hatchback. It has a more luxury feel than it does performance feel, and I'm okay with that. I like luxury cars. But look at the leather interior, the smooth, comfortable ride, the effortless throws in the transmission, the compliant suspension, really nice commuter car, and a package that looks very good. I think if you're in the market for a hatchback, this car should certainly be on your list. There is one issue I do have with this car. I find it a little bit claustrophobic feeling. The roof feels a little bit low, the windows are a little bit small, a little more open feel would be nice, but some people are going to like that sort of sporty cocoon kind of feel to it. I would like it a little bit more open, but that's just personal taste. Overall, this is a really nicely put together car that has more of a luxury feel than anything else. They've done a really good job on that front. So here in Canada, if you want to get the manual transmission on this top Sport GT trim, you need to buy the extra premium package. which brings the price of this car up to $28,700. And that doesn't include all-wheel drive. So this now looking like an expensive product on paper, but when you look at it on the inside, it actually delivers on that promise of being upmarket. It certainly looks good, it drives well, it has a very premium feel to it. However, are people willing to spend almost $30,000 for a front-wheel drive vehicle when they could walk in and buy a utility vehicle of a similar size for just a little bit more money? These are all questions I'm asking you. As I mentioned, this is really more of a study in sort of the way people think about buying cars. This is a great car. They did a good job. It looks good. It handles well. It's nice on the inside. Why people aren't buying it in huge numbers anymore, I don't know. So sales are down, but if you're in the market for a compact car, you should try this. It's definitely worth your time. Car Cost Canada provides the dealer's cost, a list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get access to exclusive and powerful savings. The link is in the description below.